Do you guys have this dilemma in pregnancy? Do you do like the boob triangle where it goes like a tent from your boobs to your belly, or do you like tuck it under? It's a real question. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is talking about weeks 34 and 35. I have a different setup. It's like really dark outside. I can't even see the camera right now because I have lights on that are so bright. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm constantly like, I don't know what I'm doing with YouTube. So I almost threw in the towel for this pregnancy thing, but I'm so close. I'm so close. We're gonna finish. I'm gonna be 36 weeks tomorrow. I've had a really interesting like mental journey in the last few weeks getting ready for birth, and I wanna share just like 100% of what feels like me in these last few videos. I don't care if it's like YouTube-y or I'm doing it the right way. I just wanna document like where I'm going right now with these last few weeks, because shit's getting real. Sorry, Mom, for the S word. But we're going to talk about all this stuff. Tomorrow I'm sitting down with my doula, so we are going to film like a doula video about like birth prep and cool facts. So that video will probably be up next. So let me just say really quick, 34 weeks was very hard for me. I kind of took a turn symptom-wise. I had all of the third trimester stuff just like hit me like a bully throwing bricks at my face. I was just like, screw this. I hate being pregnant. I hate this. Like, I want the baby to come out. Just like get her out early. I just like everything. I just was freaking out. I just couldn't do it anymore. Cue mental breakdown. And I was feeling really weird, like dizzy, nauseous, all that stuff was back, tired, heart palpitations, like just not feeling great. And I just really let it get me down. But, you know, God turns everything, like, he can turn it into good. I'm just going to say that because I went down this rabbit hole somehow of, like, I just got into all these natural birth accounts, which it's never really been a huge priority to me to have, like, a crunchy natural birth or a home birth or anything like that. It's totally great. Love when people do that, but just not for me. I just started looking at pregnancy and birth. Here we are at the very end, but I started seeing it really differently all of a sudden. Like it could be like a way to go really deep within myself as a person. And I love to grow as a person. Like I want to better myself. I like to search and dig and all that stuff. So all of a sudden it was like not this thing to just get through and get past and move on from. It was like, hold on. There are like gems and secrets to be found here. And why didn't I know that? Why didn't I know that? Why was I not thinking that this whole time? Why wasn't I not looking for that stuff? I've been looking at some weird accounts on Instagram. Not weird. They're beautiful, but they're different for me. One I have to recommend is Pain-Free Birth. There's a lot of graphic like home birth, water birth situations going on there, so don't check that out unless you're ready. Built to Birth, it's not graphic at all, but just like really helpful birthing things. Anyway, I don't really care if I go natural or medicated, but what I'm interested in is sort of having like a really incredible experience in birth. And I hear and I read that you can do that. Even in these last few weeks of pregnancy, I now have a month left. I have less than a month till my moved, new, revised due date. And I'm like, cool. What can I learn? What can I learn about my body and my baby in these last few weeks? Like, I'm sorry, who is that? Who is that? I've never felt that way. Ever, 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 ever. So let me back up really quick. Week 35 was way better. Still a lot of the same symptoms. A few new things for me just because I love to hear what people are feeling. Heartburn is back. My craving for eggs is back. I have headaches, slight nausea, major pressure down below. Like my vagina is falling out 100% of the time is what it feels like. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. Lots of pressure. I do think she dropped like maybe towards the middle to end of week 34. So that brings a whole new sensation of feelings. The egg craving to me is really interesting. I have a story for you. So I've started taking some more supplements towards the end of pregnancy, one being cod liver oil. And I know you're supposed to take DHA and fish oil and some of those things. And I haven't really been that good at that this pregnancy. It didn't even really occur to me towards the end Like I said, I kind of work with a natural doctor, and she was like, oh, she does some muscle testing stuff. And she was like, you could definitely do with some fish oil, especially cod liver oil. So I've been having these egg cravings, which I had the whole first trimester. And I started taking cod liver oil twice a day. Gone. Like, I don't crave eggs anymore. I was craving eggs and like avocado and like good fats and stuff like that. Gone since I've been taking that. Really interesting. I honestly don't know if they're correlated, but I would guess that they are. One thing developmentally that is still going on in baby, and I gotta keep reminding myself this because you get to the end of pregnancy and you're like, why are you still in there? Like, you're developed, just come out. But lungs, kidneys, and brain, and of course just overall getting fatter, are sort of the last pieces to develop. And the brain is really important. So I'm taking, like I said, cod liver oil. I'm also taking a homeopathic kind of, I think it's homeopathic. It's called bioplasma. It's a combination of all the different cell salts. So think like magnesium phosphate, calcium. Gosh, I'm going to butcher this. It's like all the things that build healthy bones, healthy teeth. So all of a sudden, like all the things that my body sort of tested for were like putting all these finishing touches on my baby. So I'm trying to kind of dial into my nutrition and like give this girl everything she needs before whenever she decides to come out. Really quick, I want to say that last pregnancy, my doctor told me that every week your baby is in utero is about equal to 3 weeks outside your body. So when you're like, well, when I'm like, just get the heck out at 36 weeks, well, if she stays till even like 39, that's like 9 weeks of development outside the womb. So we're basically time machines. In addition to being like awesome in other ways in pregnancy, like I'm also a time machine. So that's awesome. Sorry, my butt's cramping. Whew. Is this weird if I just like, can I do this? I just feel like I don't have any reservations anymore, and we're just gonna go there. So this kind of cues me into some of the birth prep stuff that I'm doing. I am like on the birth ball, which is just the same ball as an exercise ball. I'm doing my hip stuff. I'm trying to open my psoas. Ooh, so I want to talk about this. And if I've lost you and you've clicked out of this video, fine. But I want to remember this in case I have more kids. So in Zoe's labor, my other daughter, I had hip flexor pain like you would not believe. And I have Googled the living daylights out of this. I can't find anyone else who had their hips lock up during labor. I did some digging. I think it's my psoas. So your psoas connects in your back and comes down through the inside of your pelvis to kind of like line the bowl, as it were. And there's not anything that I can find online about hip flexor pain during labor, but there's loads of information on the psoas and the role that it plays in a good, like, functioning labor. If you guys have heard of spinning babies, that's like the course, I think I heard of it most last time in regards to flipping a breech baby. But there's lots of cool exercises and positions that you can get into within that course and that program that just optimizes your pelvis for a good birth. Well, they talk a lot about the psoas and how to lengthen it, and you want a long, lengthened, functional, toned psoas. And if it's super tight, your labor will stall. Ding, ding, ding. It'll be super painful. Baby won't descend. You won't dilate. All of those things that happened in my last labor. So I think it was kind of back labor, but it referred to my hips because of the nature of how the psoas sits in your body. So, oh my gosh, every night before I go to sleep, I have the lacrosse ball like in the deep places of where the attachments in my back of my psoas are. And it just aches in my hips, but it feels super good. I'm doing all these stretches, like laying on the side of the bed with one leg off, stretching my psoas like that. That feels awesome. What are some other positions you can get into? Like, you can lay with the ball underneath your legs. That one's pretty cool. Either forward or back like this. I think they call this the flying cowgirl. Yeah, there's just cool ways to like subtly open your hips. So I'm doing all that. And I'm also so I know hypnobirthing is really in right now. I'm a Christian, and I feel like I have kind of an issue with some of that. Like, I agree that you can kind of really go somewhere else and meditate, but I want to do it with God because of my personal feelings in that department. So I've been doing that, and it's awesome. I think that has maybe what's made this last week or so really exciting and really cool, because I want a crazy birth. And if it doesn't happen, I'm good with that too. I've already dealt with the fact that that might not happen, but why not experience all those things now? Why not practice them? Why not go there in that headspace now? So I'm practicing like being really surrendered to pregnancy and all of its wonderful feelings that usually I'm like towards. I'm like, okay, this is where I am. And when I'm in pain or when I'm doing something, I'm trying to think, okay, you know, I'm growing a human. This is a special time in my life. It's short. I have a month left, tops probably. It's not the worst thing. What can I learn about myself? How can I dig deeper? How can I become more of a feminine goddess? Can you even believe that I'm talking like this? Like 4 or 5 weeks of pregnancy, bring it. I'm going to try to link below in the description any of the accounts on Instagram that I've been following, some of the books that I've been reading and listening to, even some of the YouTube videos of other people that I have found very helpful. I'm still watching a lot of videos on people's experiences with hypnobirthing because I think it's very similar to what I want to do. I just want to direct my connection with God. It's individual. You do you. I'm going to do me. And that's where I'm going with this. But tomorrow I'm 36 weeks. And all of a sudden, I'm sort of there. I feel like, how did I get there this fast? Tomorrow I'm going to pack my hospital bag because they tell you to do that at 36 weeks. I don't know what's happening to me, guys, but I'm here for it. I'm in a really cool place. But that's that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.